What's up, you guys? Sim here, Team Symmetry, here to bring you guys my new segment here on my channel. It's going to be called The Good, the Bad, and the Yu-Gi-Oh! So I'm sure the first question on everyone's mind is, what is this segment going to be about? As you guys can see, I have a Dark World deck list here in front of you. But as you can see, I have a couple things added in the list in weird positions, and I have a side deck and my extra deck and everything. Basically, this segment is going to be about analyzing all the decks of the current format and saying what's good about them, what's bad about them, and then the Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just for Yu-Gi-Oh! Like what pro plays, I guess, the decks have and why they are considered decent in this format, as well as why some of the things prevent them from topping the events as much as they used to. So I'm going to start with Dark World. The reason why I'm starting with Dark World is that this is my favorite deck. Dark World is definitely probably my favorite deck of all time. Problem with Dark World, though, is that it doesn't do that well at events. As you guys have seen in past events, very few Dark World ever make it to the top 32 cut. At most, I think the most has ever been 3. I've never seen more than 3 unless like I missed an event. It's only won one YCS, which was YCS Long Beach. And other than that, Dark World is more of a regional deck and a locals deck. Now, I'm just going to get into what's good about the deck. All right, let's be honest. Grapha's a bitch. 3,000 attack under Gates of the Dark World is ridiculous. Not only that, it never really dies unless you have Bottomless or D Prison. It's kind of ridiculous when you think about it, because a 3,000 beater, a 2,700 beater without the field is just really hard to get over. Like, unless you have a Hyperion or you have something that can get over Grapha, it's very hard to come back when Grapha's in play and your opponent has like full control over the board. So that's the whole thing, is that Graph is a bitch and it's hard to get around. Aside from that, it recurs itself constantly. Snow is also probably the best card in the deck, because being able to search out to what you need is always great in a deck. Being able to thin your deck, having a searcher is always great, as you guys know with many other decks. Being able to search out your Gates of the Dark World, or your Dark World dealings, or your Grapha, or going snow for snow for snow, which is something I like to do, really opens up a lot of plays and really thins the deck a lot and really just makes your plays a lot more consistent. You have a Pot of Greed through Brow and Gateway of the Dark World, as well as just being able to draw with Brow. Really amazing. I'm here to talk about Silva a little bit, just because Silva opens up a lot of other plays. If you run both Viruses, Deck Dev, and EEV, Silva opens up those plays as well as Grapha does. Silva can help you OTK your opponent as well, because it's 26 under Gates, so it's a decent card. A lot of people still like Beige, though. I still do like Beige. I don't know why I have one here on the side. I think I forgot to take it out of the main, and I was supposed to put another card here. I think I'm supposed to put Torrential or Solemn Judgment, but anyways, Beige puts in a lot of work, because you can normal summon it, and you can plus a lot off Gateway of the Dark World. It's a +1 because you draw, plus you special it, plus you bounce it for Grapha. So that's like a lot of the good plays of the deck. Also, Tour Guide this is the deck that Tour Guide really belongs in, because you have itself as a target as well as 3 brows, and you're able to make amazing Leviair plays with the card. Other cards I forgot to include were Trance Archfiend. So we'll throw Trance Archfiend in there real quick. Trance Archfiend's a decent card. A lot of people like it because it's able to recycle your Graph. Also goes to 2,000, so it's a deck dev target. Plus, under the field, it's 2,300, so it is a really decent card. I myself am not a big fan of it, but I can see where it opens a lot of plays. I've seen people play new versions of Dark World, and they really like this card, so that's another good thing about the deck. I think probably the best thing about the deck is its draw engine. Its draw engine is ridiculous. Being able to use Dark World dealings, upstarts, recklesses, plussing off the gates when you draw, and Drag Down to the Grave. Drag Down to the Grave is what makes the deck broken. If Dark World wasn't broken enough with Grapha, it was definitely with Drag Down to the Grave, because Drag Down to the Grave, it just opens up so many plays and is really just a cheap card. Knowing your opponent's hand is ridiculous. Looking at your opponent's hand and being able to just kind of decide how the game goes makes the deck really unfair at times, and I totally understand that. Like, I do love the deck. I hate when Drag Down is used against me. Like, any person will tell you, I love to use a card, but I hate when it's used against me, and that's the whole thing with Drag Down to the Grave, is that it is a card that really is unfair. It opens up way too many plays. It combos amazing with Mind Crush. It opens just ridiculous amounts of plays, and you can combo it with Deck Dev to know when to trigger your Deck Dev, your EEV, etc. That's what makes the deck broken. It can also include all the staples. Foolish Burial is really good in the deck. It's amazing with Grapha, because you want your Grapha engraved as soon as possible. So all these cards really just kind of work in perfect synergy in the deck. As you guys can see, I'm getting a lot of PMs during this segment, but I'll have to attend to them afterwards. Anyways, that's what's good about Dark World, is that they have a big beater. They have a bunch of monsters that can just help recycle Grapha. They have a Searcher, they have a Drawer, they have a Beat Stick, they have Tour Guides, they have a Draw Engine that never ends. They don't care about giving their opponent 1,000 life points because they'll just run them over with Grapha. And they have an auto win in card destruction. I honestly feel that card destruction with like a Snow, a Grapha, and a Silver, or double Snow, or whatever is just ridiculous. Like, it's so hard to come back from that because they gain so much advantage over you. It's kind of ridiculous, but I feel card destruction is just ridiculous. I honestly think card destruction probably should have gotten hit because it's so broken in this deck. Now, granted, it's only one card, but it's like Future Fusion. It's like almost an auto win for this deck. So that's what's good about the deck. Now, people might wonder, what's bad about the deck? What's bad about the deck is that it can draw absolute shit. And I'm not kidding you. You can open with like multiple Graphas but have no discard outlet and you lose. You can open with all these monsters and have no discard outlet and you lose. Because if you open with Gates and no other discard outlet, you're forced to set a Dark World before you can even get your field going off. And like, if you don't open Tour Guide, you don't have that play. So I feel that that's one of the bad things about the deck. What's bad is that it can honestly lose if it draws all monsters with no discard outlet or all discard outlets no monster. So that's where I feel that it's bad. I hate having to go Dark World dealings and discarding anything aside from a Dark World. I hate having to upstart multiple times just to get to nothing, giving my opponent a free Solemn Warning. I hate having to drag down when I have nothing Dark World related in my hand. And other bad things is you can get stuck under Reckless. You can get stuck under Reckless when you're desperate and you have to activate it. If your opponent's used MST on it, you have to do that, and you have to be able to draw into your outs, and if you don't, you lose because you're stuck under the deck. So that's what I think is bad about it. It's inconsistent, and people might wonder, why is it also inconsistent? It loses to a lot of cards, you guys. Bottomless Trap Hole, Dimensional Prison, Gemini Imps, Macrocosmos, Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, Dimensional Fissure. They all wreck this deck, unfortunately. That is the one problem that I've always had with Dark World, is that there are so many ways to stop it. DD Crow is another amazing way. You Crow Grapha, if you're not running Trance Archfiend, it's gone. Like, it's not coming back. Unless because you can't Leviair it back. So, I mean, it's really hard to come back from that. Now, that's what feels bad about the deck, is that if it can lose, there's so many ways to side for it, and by siding those cards, you hit a lot of other decks as well. So I feel that that's why Dark World doesn't do as well. But I do feel it is still a decent deck in the format. So now just on to like side deck things, is that what I like about the deck as well is you can add a lot of new discard outlets. My favorite ones are Morphing Jar and Fabled Rave, and they open up a lot of broken plays. You can also side cards to really give yourself an advantage, like Rivalry of Warlords, since you run all Fiends. You're able to side Dark Smog as an additional discard outlet. You can always side extra viruses if you feel you need them. This is my favorite card to side. I think this card is amazing in the deck. If your opponent does deprison away Grapha, Bottomless Grapha, you can return them all back and go for game. When you side deck, you need MSTs to stop their macros, their Shadow Mirrors, their D-Fissures, etc. And cards like that really open up plays. Royal Decree is there to shut down their Macrocosmos and Shadow Mirror, and the rest kind of just all falls into place. So this is basically what this segment is going to be about. It's going to be about talking about the main decks of the format. I started with Dark World because I don't feel it's one of the top 5 anymore. I feel it's kind of gone down a little bit. With the release of Atlanteans, I feel it's gone down a little bit more. So I feel that Dark World is still a decent deck of the format, but it's definitely not one of the top 5. But I feel it's definitely worth mentioning because the deck can be really good. It can be really explosive, but at times it can draw just really bad. And, you know, as far as extra deck goes, like, you guys know how extra decks, you stall with Zen mains, you do broke plays, open your field, stop Zen mains, it becomes 36, big beaters, etc. The best card, honestly, though, is Heliopolis, because this card can really just win games by itself, so that's why the card's really good. But I hope you guys enjoyed this segment. Let me know, do you guys like this segment? Do you think I should continue doing this segment? You know, 150 to 200 plus likes, I will continue this segment, and I will be doing all the decks of the format. I have Geargia lined up, I have Wind Up lined up, I have 6 Samurais, I have a lot of rogue decks that I feel have a chance of coming back, i.e. Gladiator Beasts, Frogs, a lot of other decks, and I'll be discussing them. I will be doing one on Atlanteans as well once I do more research on the deck. I'll be doing Agents, a lot of other decks, but just let me know what you guys think, because I really felt that a segment like this can help any player, because if you're unsure about why to build a deck or if you should make it, this will tell you the pros, the cons, and just like the broken plays this deck can do. And I feel that broken plays come through card destruction, they come through looping Gates and looping Beaters and looping Graphas and Snows, etc. And they come through just really smart plays with the deck. But let me know what you guys think. You know, comment below. Do you like Dark World? Do you not like Dark World? I know a lot of people don't like Dark World, but I'm here to tell you guys why the deck is good, why it's bad, and why it is what I consider a decent deck in the format, but definitely not the best. So just let me know what you guys think. You know, comment below. comment below with what deck you'd like to see next, and I will definitely bring that to you guys at the next convenience if this segment continues. So just remember, 150, 200 plus likes, we'll definitely continue doing this. So I hope you guys enjoy the thumbs it up. Let me know what you feel the next deck should be. Whatever gets the most requests will be the next deck I do, and I will include side decks, extra decks, etc., just to give you guys a better idea of how the deck should be run. So let me know what you guys think. Comment below, and thank you for watching.